Hello, good peoples. Welcome to another episode, Free Thinkers. I am one of your hosts, Q. I know Nikki on the way, and I know you on the way as well. So, guys, it is another Tuesday, and we got some good stuff lined up for you. Now, me personally, this is one of my most useful areas of topics that we talk about. Today we're going to be doing a pick a post, and basically what a pick a post is, we go to our Facebook group page and we go through just some of the threads and some of the posts that's been put on the page, and we discuss it and we talk about it, which is good for me because I'm not always on there, but it gives me the opportunity to kind of talk it out, especially since I like arguing, so sometimes it's harder for me to argue.
You sound like to argue.
I do. You know what?
But do you like to argue?
Yes, I love
because
it.
I was told I like to argue, and I don't like to argue, but I don't like to not be heard, and I don't like to be misunderstood.
I like to argue. I like to debate.
I
I realize
like to argue.
that because there's certain shows that I've done or that I'm doing or that I'm going to do, and there's even filling out whenever there's a show and there's no back and forth dialogue or debate or correction, or I reject that notion and just tell us your thoughts on this, and then I just talk. Okay, thank you for that. Now such and such, tell us your thoughts on. I don't enjoy that type of conversation to where I can't rebut what another person says, or I really don't enjoy when I say something and another person does not have the opportunity to challenge me. True. I'm not as interested in it because, and another reason is because, just philosophically speaking, I don't think there is any definitive truth. I think just about everything a person says has a level of truth to it. So no matter what you say, I could disagree with what you say, but it's not like I'm disagreeing. I disagree with the normalcy of how true a statement is. So if you could say something and I'm like, nah. It's not that you're completely wrong, but it's the thought that you're speaking is in such of a minority that I don't think it should be used as a general statement or a blanket statement to talk about a certain people or situation. I'm like, that happens. That's a one-off. But usually this is what happens. So I just think every statement, every thought that's said, I think almost all things have levels of truth to it. And the fun that I get is exploring the level. So then that's where you hear me oftentimes. What percentage would you say? How often would you say? Because I think everything has a level of truth. It's just how true is this? Let's talk about it. So yeah, I did realize there's just talking. I'm not as interested in that. I'm really not.
So you're probably not a small talk person either.
No, at all.
Yeah, same.
Ever been like, and people see this all the time. You come around me, like if you see me in public, then I could be very quiet, like extremely quiet. Because number one, I'm kind of a quiet person, have slight shy tendencies, but also if we're not talking about something that grabs my interest, then I just don't have anything to say.
Right. Do you
quiet.
think that's because, in our respective spaces, we talk so much and think so, like between my personal, hobbies, I guess, right, and my professional world and being a parent, like my brain hasn't turned off for like 27 years, and my heart hasn't turned off either, right? So like, being single, I have found that I can absolutely go days and days and days without speaking to anybody other than my kids. And that's probably because they're in my house. Like, if you don't have to engage me in conversation, I will not engage in conversation. But the second something good comes up, I'm full on conversation. But I can go days without talking. And I don't know if sometimes that's because I talk so fucking much all the time anyways, or think all the time anyways, that like small talk is the absolute death to my spirit. or just making up fluff conversation just to take up space. Oh my God, that is so painful to me.
So, couple things. Number one, for me, I'm quiet by nature. That's just part of my nature. I've always been that way.
Okay.
Me talking and being up in front of people, that was a manufactured skill that I had to, but it is not, it's never been in my nature to be that way. So
Okay.
I've been in sales for over 20 some years. So I've learned to talk that way. I've done radio shows. I used to
Right.
do music. So I'd be in front of people all the time. I used to do church stuff. I teach classes. I did a lot of stuff that forced me to be in front of people. So it was something that I learned to do over time. But yeah, it's not natural to me now. Part of what you were saying, like, yeah, my 9 to 5 deals with sales and talking to people, so I don't have a desire to do a lot of extra talking past that. And um, free thinkers and other shows that I do give me the outlet
Mm-hmm.
or my craving to have a debate or conversation or whatever. So when I hear certain conversations, say at the workplace or something, they talking about certain things, once upon a time, I probably have this. I got to jump in. I got to get in this conversation. I don't have to. That you could be, wrong as a doorknob, and I'm just like,
Right.
I
Right.
don't. I can sit there and listen to, a bunch of people who I think are totally wrong, and I have no desire to jump in. I'm like, I have a space to
Mm-hmm.
get that out if I need to, and on top of that, I think I've gotten a little bit spoiled because I don't know if you ever recognize this, but like when you've been on free thinkers and debate shows and things like that, there's an art to conversation and debate, and you can appreciate it more when it's done properly. Like in some instances, some area, like if I just go to the workplace and then have a try to jump in a conversation with somebody, a lot of people, they don't feel the need to have ration or back up anything with facts. They'll just speak off a feeling. I'm like, that don't make sense. And it's just like they don't feel the needs. But free thinkers, like, if you don't bring some receipts of what you're saying, then we gonna call you out on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could just run directly off your opinion and feel no need to back it up with ration or anything, it was like, that's not a conversation that I'm interested in.
Right. Right.
Because there's no rules or no standards to it. Or you
Right.
get people who love, if the conversation not going their way, they just jump off, they jump into another subject. I'm like, hold on,
Yeah. Leave the
get back
whole
to
conversation altogether. Like, wait a
right.
minute. This is your idea.
No, get back to the so that type of stuff, if you, it's weird to say, but if you try to go back and have debate type conversations with people who are not used to operating in this space, then it can be kind of a turn off too.
It definitely does get to be a turnoff. Well, because then those are the people who actually almost want to argue, like, and not in the productive sense of argue, right? Like,
Right.
it's just not a productive conversation. So some of those conversations, like, should
Right.
I overhear that I'm like, oh, I want to jump in this, but I'm not because I don't feel like it's a good use of my energy. Like, I'll save those conversations. I'll write that shit down and I'll bring them here because I still want to talk about it, but I'm like, I don't want to talk
Just
about
not
it
with y'all.
with
And
y'all.
that's one thing that my mom said, because she talks about high IQ. She really enjoys that show, and she was like, you and Ivory, y'all really got a good chemistry, how y'all talk together. I said, I think the thing with me and Ivory, and even maybe me and you to a lesser degree, I think ours is coming over time, but it's like our debate is not so much it has nothing to do with me trying to get you over to my side or you trying to get me over to your side. It's, especially with me and Ivory, it's where do we disagree?
Right.
Like, where is the, yeah, I'm with you here, I'm with you here, I'm with you. Where's the
Right.
breakdown of
Where's,
how we
where's the
see
source?
things? And then once we find out, like, oh, well, you think, fundamentally you think this and this and that. So we can't agree with, okay, yeah, I got you. That's why we don't agree and we're not going to agree. Fine. And
Right. Right.
that's the only thing that we're really trying to discover. I see what you're saying, but this is why I say this. and then you say, oh, okay, well, I see where you're coming from, but I disagree with it. And then once we understand how we disagree, yeah, okay, that's it.
Right.
So it's a different type of dialogue and debate. So yeah,
Well, you
I
really
like
have
that
to be, but you really have to be in
sometimes, but
that
I like
setting
going in
to
too.
be. I said you really have to be in that setting though to know how to have a conversation, because a lot of people don't know how
Right.
to converse. They don't know how to be challenged and not get emotional. They don't know. I mean, and it's not to say that you're not going to be emotional when you get challenged, because you kind of should be, but there's a way to go about that, and there's a way to totally like screw that whole process up. And if you don't know how to have a conversation, like it's hard to get an understanding from somebody. Like I literally just went through that this weekend with somebody, and I was like, it doesn't matter how I say the words that I'm saying, you cannot hear these words. Like you're just not
Mm-hmm.
hearing. So you are not able to have a conversation because you can't even hear the words that are coming out of my mouth in English, because your brain and your ears are already
Right.
ready to respond to something else. And it's not what I said. And it's so maddening. So I would rather a debate end in a wash or a tie, right, than
Right.
feel like it has to be beating somebody down to jump on board with my thoughts or my theories. Like, no, that's the fun part of the conversation.
So the part with me is, even when I'm having a conversation, I'm not actually even trying to prove the other person wrong. I'm
Right.
trying to take their set of facts or statements, and I'm really trying to pit it up against mine to see where I have holes at. If I have holes in my argument or my thought process, I'm going to use what you're saying, and I'm going to question it and poke at it. And I'm trying to get you to kind of give me feedback, conversation, push back, all of that, to say, this is why you're wrong. This is why you're wrong. This is why your statement doesn't hold up. And if you can't give it to me, then I'm like, oh, okay, well, you ain't got nothing to offer me. Or if you can, you'd be like, oh, shoot, I didn't think about it like that.
Hmm.
Okay, I got to go back to the drawing board on that. Like, now I'm going to have to revise my thought process based off the information that you gave. So that's my purpose when I'm going in at somebody. I'm trying to get the most out of your facts to kind of rub up against mine to see, am I solid? Um,
Hmm.
and I used to do that a lot of time with religious debates. A lot of time, especially when I was more hardcore Christian. Then I would have conversations with Muslims and Buddhists and atheists and other people like that. And it's like, now starting off when I was young, I was trying to win arguments, but after a while, I was just I was more curious about how authentic was my belief system.
Right.
So I'm like, let
Right.
me throw this up against yours, and let me see what's this, and it helped modify the way I saw things. Some things, if they had nothing to give me, I'm like, well, I see why I can't be this, or I see why I can't get with that. But in certain instances where I was able to be challenged, then I'm like, I got to go back to the drawing board on what I, and
Mhm, mhm.
it totally changed how I, how my belief system operates. Um, okay, really quickly, if y'all haven't learned already, it's free thinkers. Like I said, Q and Nikki, feel free to jump on. You can go to the Free Thinkers page on Facebook and
Mhm.
get the link. If you've never been on StreamYard before, just click on the link, and it's very simple instructions. Matter of fact, if you've never been on StreamYard at any time, I'm challenging you to do it now. Learn something new. Don't continue being uneducated in technology when it comes to Zoom and StreamYard and different ways to communicate. So go ahead, just click on it, see where it takes you. We'll let you in. It's going to be real simple. Keep in mind, this is adult conversation and adult content. So make sure you're somewhere where you're comfortable listening without ears of people that you don't want to hear. I don't know if I didn't mention this before. Make sure you share, comment, and like. Now, let me say this really quick. We love all of the people who support the show and tell us how much they enjoy the show and how much they watch. So, with that being said, let us know in real time. Just don't wait till we see you. So, tell us in the comment section. Let us know you here. Where you listening from? What you thinking? Make sure you give us some feedback on that as well. It's always all of us appreciate it. But I'm just adding something on. Let us know in real time as well. Make sure you got something to in your ears. Make sure you're somewhere quiet, and just be true with your thoughts when you get on here, whether you're commenting, whether you're speaking on here. Don't say nothing that you think other people want to hear you say. Say what's on your heart.
Mm-hmm.
If you a bigot, be a bigot. If you got gender biases, then speak them. You know, I've done that for a long time. I speak my bias, and I'm like, yeah,
right.
This is part of my learning. If I sit there and try to say stuff that I think other people want to hear, you ruin the opportunity for yourself to learn certain things. Put yourself out there. Right. We'll be, people might come at you, but we can all appreciate honesty at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
But that's what I got. Anything else you got before we jump in?
Yeah, just adult content. I know you already said that, but I stress the importance of adult content. Adult content, share, share. We have gotten a couple new subscribers over the last couple of weeks, so thank you for those of y'all who have hit that subscribe button over on our YouTube channel, which is Free Thinkers Worldwide. So unfortunately, it's Free Thinkers Worldwide over on YouTube, and it's just Free Thinkers over on Facebook. But definitely, please join us on both spaces. Hit the share button, subscribe, like, join, invite people, all that good stuff. Yeah, so that's every Tuesday. I know we had talked about with some folks on the Facebook page, the conversation of sex, and we just didn't get a little panel together tonight.
Forgot about it. What was we could do that in 2 weeks after
yeah, we'll do it in 2 weeks because next week is Halloween.
What was the sex thing about? We said
it was just the men and females perspective of what makes sex good. What is good sex?
Yeah. Okay.
What's good sex? What's not good sex? And there was quite a few folks who wanted to have the conversation. So I didn't want to just pop it up like tonight, last minute. So we'll plan it out a little bit better. And so then not next week because it's Halloween, but the week after that, we will definitely do the conversation about sex. So for those of y'all who want to have the conversation about sex, we're going to do it in 2 weeks. So be here.
Hold on. Question.
What?
You want to do this live, or you want to take this to a live space? Because we've been talking about doing it. We can set that up. We can. It just depends on how authentic of a conversation you think people will be open enough to have I know me and you will.
You know we good,
but everybody
scary ass people out there. They're gonna be like this though. They're gonna be like this the whole time, right? But they ain't gonna say shit. But they're gonna be taking notes. She said do this. He said do this, and that's cool with us. But we do want to see y'all. We want y'all to be a part of this conversation too. You can hear me and Q all day, every day, but there's a whole lot more perspective than just our perspectives.
We can do it on Facebook. We get some
I think we should. I think that we should, just because at least those who are going to participate in the conversation, we doing it live. We repping for folks who are willing to go live with it, right? Like we can always expand into a personal, individual, non-live session. But I definitely think that this conversation seems to be one that's very interesting to a lot of people. And since we're not known for holding back and biting our tongue, I figure why not teach these folks some things about some things. So that's what we'll do in 2 weeks. So if you are interested in having the conversation with us live, meaning you're going to join us on the panel, then you definitely stay tuned for the next 2 weeks, and we'll tap in with you. We'll get you up to speed with what we need to do for when that conversation comes around. Go ahead.
And listen, just if you're hearing this and you're getting in late, you see we 20 minutes in, you still can jump in. Feel free. Just because me and Nikki talking don't mean that you can't jump in and participate. So feel free. If you got to jump out early, that's fine too. We typically go 90 minutes, and today we're going to go 90 minutes because I am tired.
Ooh, me too, and I can't breathe.
I'm so tired.
Ooh, whatever is that? That's just me trying to log in on both. Whatever that swung around the city that got caught in my chest, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm dying. And then we did 2 hours on Koo show last night. So shout out to Koo and that wild ass group. That was probably one of the most, I want to say a non-disciplined group that I've ever been involved in. Usually it's phenomenal control of the show, but it was just a bunch of fucking funny people last night.
Oh, shoot. Did I contribute to the lack
No,
of
not at
discipline?
all. No, I think your contribution to the show was really good.
I try to be on decent behavior. I'm like, I ain't gonna never be on my best behavior, but I try to be decent behavior.
No, it was good. It was, and I listened to it again last night, and I was like, "Damn, we did a good job, shit, for just old regular old podcaster people."
Yeah,
we did a good job. We
if
always
you go
do.
into a different space, it could definitely be intimidating. Like, you in here with all these comics,
really comedians of all people, comedians who will roast your ass up and down the street. It's always nerve-wracking, but it's always a good space. And honestly, I've met some of the coolest, just fucking downest ass comedians, all over Texas, being a part of Q's show. So if you haven't seen me and Q on Cool last night, it's posted on my page and on the Free Thinkers page as well. So just check it out. Just a little different speed of a type of podcast. It's a total all comedy podcast. If you're a comedian, when you like comedy, definitely a good little spot to check out. So yeah, I'm good for 90 minutes. But we're gonna do pick a post tonight. So that's what
Nikki, I was going through. I'm looking at different posts and things that I was snapshotting, and I'm like, let me load this up. And then when I got to the page, you had pretty much everything that I was gonna. I'm like, oh, she loaded all the stuff I was gonna load. All right, well, I guess I ain't got to
shit. There we go. I did. I last minute try to screen record a bunch of different things and put them in there. So that's what we got tonight. Tonight is pick a post. So every couple weeks, once a month, every couple months, we'll just basically clear the page by doing a pick a post. And it's just whoever is involved in the conversation going to the Facebook page and literally picking any post that's been posted, whether it's new or old, doesn't matter. If it's just something that you're like, damn, I wanted to see them talk about this, or I wanted to talk about this in general. Bring the post up. You can screenshot it. You don't have to do anything. You can just basically talk about it, and we'll probably remember which one you're talking about. Yeah. But the image or a screen recorded video definitely does help when we're trying to show other people what we're talking about.
Right.
But that's essentially it. It's just going to the page and picking a post that you thought was pretty interesting or that you shared or whatever, and we gonna talk about it.
And guys, if has some water went down the wrong hole. If you have something that you've posted previously,
right,
and you want to have a deeper conversation about that, or go, have a live conversation about it, come on, pull it up, and then we can dig and dive into it. So
let's do it.
Yep.
Well, since we seem to have probably chosen the same ones, which one do you want to go with first?
I'll let you pick it. Go ahead.
Shit. So I always got something to say when it comes to fucking agendas, right? So
yeah, you do, and I know what agenda you got.
you already know. I already got 2 videos saved. I was like, damn, it just so happens to be this was what was on my social media today. So I posted it on the Facebook page, on the Facebook Free Thinkers page. Well, yeah. Let's go with this one. All right, let's see if this plays right.
Let that be the first and last time I see you do that, please. Take that off. Take that off immediately.
Oh, here, I'll go pick up. I'll go. Take it up.
And you guys never ever let my son put a dress on, ever.
Okay.
Ever. You understand me? Like ever.
Yeah. No worries. You guys gotta do that. First time and last time. Yeah, first time and last time.
Ever.
So, dad goes to daycare, pick up son or whatever. Dad goes to daycare, sees son in the classroom with the other kids, and his son got a dress on. My first response when I saw it was, you got me fucked up. You just do. You got me fucked up. And I come from being in early childhood development for a long time. I was in early childhood development for a very long time. And I understand the importance of manipulative play. I understand the importance of sensory. I understand the importance of, having a home living center. I understand the importance of being exposed to all the different things that a child could be exposed to for them to then form their likes, dislikes, the things that they gravitate towards, whatever the case may be. And I'm not opposed to children dressing up in opposite sex clothes. If a little boy and a friends are in the home center and shit. They want to put on a goofy ass wig. That's, I'm not gonna. Oh, take that wig off, right? Like, but to have a little boy in a dress in the classroom, and it was only 2 little boys that seemed to have dresses on in the classroom. To have these women literally sitting right there. There's a lot of redirection that you can do, obviously, right? That doesn't mean that you have to shame anything or anyone. There's a way to handle that. So back to the agenda. You cannot, I'm not gonna act like there isn't an agenda here. Because the next video that I have to show is also going to support the fact that these teachers, these adults in positions of power who are supervising our children throughout the course of the school day are a part of the problem for me. And it kind of goes along with the, kind of the topic that we talked about last night on Kusto, is that there's certain things you can't discuss. There's certain things you can't criticize. There's certain things that you can't say no to without being ostracized or being told that you're phobic of some sort. So I had a hell of a problem when I seen a little boy in a dress. And I said, you got me fucked up. So I posted it. And I said, let's talk about it tonight.
So I had that exact situation.
Okay. Oh, did you? That happened.
It was that, looking at that video was almost the equivalent of me looking at myself back in the past.
So how young was your son when this happened?
About that age.
Okay, so he was a little bitty.
Probably 4.
Oh wow.
It was in anywhere between it was before he was in school. He was still in daycare. Yeah, so like pre-K, so it had to be like around 4ish. And I came to pick him up, and I seen him run around playing in a tutu.
And this was the old Q at that time.
No, it was about the same Q. It was about the same Q.
Okay.
What was that? It was about 10 years ago. I was the same-ish.
Okay. All right.
And I was and I came and I seen him, and I'll take that off of him. Like, out of the 100 times that you seen me come pick him up, oh, how y'all doing? Hi, everything. Just nice, and everybody was nice and cool when I came in. I said, take that off of him. Don't ever put that on him. Don't ever let him put that on, ever. We don't do that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. My bad. This is now. It was about, and it wasn't the main director. It was one of his main teachers who was watching with it. It was either later in the week or maybe the next week. I come back and I see him in it again.
No.
And that's when I started getting real quiet. So when I walked in, the girl, the teacher who saw me, when she saw me, then she went, oh, here, come, baby, come take this off. I didn't even say nothing. I looked at her. I said, is this going to be a problem? If I see my son wearing this again, we're going to have a problem. And we had no more issues after that. But yeah, no, it was the same thing. But yeah, exactly. And so anyway, I had the exact same situation. But I think what it is people are, besides the agenda that's going on, people are getting so comfortable with the agenda that's going on that they think that it's becoming more acceptable, and people should. I don't think people realize that for as many people are accepting in certain areas, there's some people who are, number one, not accepting, and number two, we're not completely accepting. Like, a person to live their life the way that we want. But my house, we got some lines and some standards that we don't cross.
Right.
And just because whatever you think is the acceptable thing, no. And the fact that you ain't even run that by me first or even said, we got major problems. Don't think that, don't think that, I don't know what you're thinking, just thinking that that's cool.
But that's the whole question. What are you thinking? Like, what are you fucking thinking? What are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking? Like, no, we don't want to make a big ass deal. Oh, boys don't wear dresses. Like, you don't want to like embarrass a kid in the classroom or like. But there's just ways. Then unless that's really what your agenda is, and that's how you feel, and that's what you believe, and that's cool. You can do that, but you can't do that with other people's kids. You can't. You can't. Like,
I wasn't even going into that conversation, and I'm like, oh, boys wear this, girls take that off.
right.
Don't ever put that on them again. And they know. They know.
Yeah.
You know whether you agree with it or disagree with it, people know when they're overstepping the lines when it comes to what you're allowing someone else's child to do without their permission.
Right.
You know when you're stepping over the line.
Right. And honestly, that's a little dangerous to me. That feels a little dangerous to me because as the person who's keeping my kid for 8 hours a day, you really will do whatever the fuck you want. You're not trying to honor whatever rules I have. You definitely not trying to honor what I've already told you not to do. So I don't trust you as an adult with my kid. We don't have to agree on the same principles. You may want to dress your son in a tutu. I don't want my son dressed in a tutu, but you're not going to do it at this daycare that I pay you to watch him do. Like that makes that adult scary to me.
On top of that, there was a young man. He's either late teens, early 20s. He was already a little suspect. On top of that, like he's one of their teachers. So I'm like, I got my eye on you. Like he was already a little suspect. So I'm just like, I ain't gonna make nothing out of it, but it better not be nothing. So it's one of those things. And even then, where the daycare was at, it was literally the condos that I stayed at. The daycare was like right on the backside. I could just get over there real. So I would just pop up randomly on purpose all the time. I've always done that. Like at all the daycares of my kids and my school, I make it a habit to randomly pop up.
Right.
So y'all don't know.
You don't know when I'm coming.
You never know when I'm
showing up.
But I need you to operate as if I could pop up at any second. And I wouldn't tell them I was coming. I wouldn't do. I just pop up. How you doing?
Yeah, that's I mean, and you know, maybe, you know, obviously I would not dress little boys in, you know, feminine clothes. I'm not putting a boy in a dress. I'm not putting a boy in a skirt. I'm not putting a boy in a tutu. Not gonna have a little boy dressed up like a princess. That's just me. I'm not, right? You do whatever the fuck you want to do in your house. That's fine. But
why would you have your children like if I or his mother never brought him to the school in something like that? Why would you? Don't get too comfortable thinking that there's no gender differences when it comes to how people dress. If I haven't dressed him up in female gender type clothes, then why would you?
Yeah, if he's not coming to school with his nails painted, why would you know? There's just a way that you have to conduct a classroom, period. Like you have to remain neutral, you have to remain safe at the same time. And by you doing things like that, by a teacher doing things like that, you are not remaining neutral. You are literally picking a side. And you can do whatever the fuck you want in your house. That's fine. But in a schoolhouse, in a place of power, in those types of positions, that is not your right. You don't have that right. You don't. Just like the schools aren't supposed to talk about religion and a lot of other things, like in the schoolhouse, there's just some shit. It's not your place. It's just not. I would have.
I'm totally against prayer in schools. I'm absolutely
like
when they talk about prayer and teaching religion in schools. I am against it.
And the reason why you guys have mentioned talking, you know, not wanting that to be, you know, talked about with children at school is because you want to have control of the way in which you pray or what you pray about, or just that whole element of how you do that in your home, right? So it's the same thing for me when it comes to like some teacher addressing sexuality or gender identity or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like I have a huge problem with somebody other than a child's parent addressing these things or approaching these things, or even, not saying to a little boy who's putting on this dress, how about you go put on, something else? There's a million other
Right.
clothes that's in the home center that you could put on. You can redirect the kid and never make it be an issue. But having them little boys, especially, I'm sorry, little black boys in that classroom with a whole bunch of little white kids, and they're the only two ones in the princess dresses, that shit is not okay. So it's like, why did they just pick these boys out? Did they single these boys out?
Right.
Like, what is these women's agenda?
And that's what, and I can't tell if they were either Hispanic or Middle Eastern. I can't tell what the crazy part to me is.
I felt like a little Asian in there of some sort from the one lady, but I wasn't sure. They weren't American women. I knew that.
But what I'm saying is, whether they were Hispanic, Middle Eastern, or Asian, whichever one, you wouldn't do that to a Hispanic, Middle Eastern, or Asian person's child. Like,
no, you wouldn't.
You do you think the men in those cultures are going to be okay?
Let one of them Middle Eastern dads walk in and his son is in a fucking tutu.
They will turn that thing upside down.
Absolutely.
And your child will never be back in that school again. They'll pull them immediately.
And tell all their friends to pull their kids too. Yep. Watch.
That's the stuff sometimes they feel like they can get away with it. And that's the dangerous part. Like I said, that's where my pop-up stuff came from all the time.
Right.
I don't want you getting comfortable thinking that this child is not highly protected.
Right.
I pay attention to everything that goes on with him.
Right.
I'm asking him questions. I'm looking at his body when he gets back. I'm paying attention to everything.
Yeah.
And you got to do, and see, and predators will often they'll speak on, they look for people who are unprotected. They look for people who don't have anyone really looking after them, people besides them having low self-esteem or feeling like they need someone. But who's really watching out for this person? If nobody watching out, then I can kind of I can mold this person and do what I want to, and I can get them to keep a secret.
Yep. I mean, they're called predators for a reason. They know who to prey on. You always know who to prey. If you're a predator, you always know who to prey on. You only have to watch them for a very short window of time before you realize, oh, this one's gonna be easy. And to me, those teachers are groomers. I don't care. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but I feel like when you intentionally put a little boy in princess dresses, you're fucking grooming this little boy. I don't know what you're grooming him for, and I'm not saying that you yourself may have some sexual tendencies or whatever the case may be, but that's just not it. And maybe in 20 years, maybe in 40 years, maybe in 75 years, when society and culture has changed and we're just fluid all over the goddamn place and it doesn't matter anymore, maybe the conversation will be different. But right now, it's still a hot topic for parents, mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, to act accordingly, in those situations.
Facebook user put, "Why are you against prayer in schools, Q?"
Miss Demetrius.
So again, that the God I believe in may not be the God that you believe. Just when you go to a church, just forget about school. You go to a church and you can have 50 people say they believe in God. It don't mean the same thing. The way I believe is not the way that you believe, and the way the next person believes. So to say, oh, prayer is good because you're thinking about the way that you pray is good. What the next person does may not be, and how they pray, and not only that, the way that you can use religion to manipulate a young mind. You got to be real careful with that. And then that's one of the things where, I mean, and that's just historical. And I mean, me even being a Christian, I know in education, they've used that, in slavery, they've used that. People will use the spirituality and the God factor to control people and make them feel like they have to fall in line. It's a dangerous thing. And if I'm not there to oversee, so even when I go to, I take my kids to church every week that they're with me. So every other week I take them to church. We go to church. Nice church. I love the church. I appreciate the church. And they go to their own classes. They have their own class. When we get out of church, okay, well, hey, tell me what you learned. What they talk about. Not just what you learn. Tell me what you talk about. Give me your observations. I want to hear the story. I want to see the message that they were speaking to you and the message that you got out of it. And I could be like, okay, that's good. I could be like, well, that's good in some areas, but then you also need to, and I'm gonna give you a wider scope, or I'm gonna be like, that goes back to what percentage of truth. That's true sometimes, but then let's look at this in a wider scope. I want to make sure that I'm properly setting their minds the right type of way to see things that they need to, versus just, oh, the preacher said this or this. No, you tell, and not just what they, okay, that's what they said. Tell me what you got out of it.
Right.
I want to see, it ain't just about what they said. It's about you. What's your takeaway? And if you get the proper takeaway out of it using your own mind, then okay, I'm good with that. But we don't just listen to what anybody says just because they said it and they older than you. No, we don't do that. So it's just a way you just have to monitor and pay attention to what's going on. Always know what's up. Okay, so I guess you want to get into the other video. So I'll let you play it first. You should already know what I'm about to say about this.
All right, let me see. Where's the video? Where's it at? Here we go.
I have a closet in my classroom, and I would have the kids one at a time go into the closet, and then they would come out and share with the class what their sexual orientation is. So of course we would celebrate, and I would give the kids that identify as 2S LGBTQIA+, a cupcake, a rainbow cupcake. The kids that came out and said they were straight, I didn't give them anything because they're just contributing to a heteronormative society.
What do you think I'm gonna say about that, Nikki? I'm interested in know what you think I'm gonna say about that.
I don't know, because you don't cuss on here a whole lot. I'm sure you know what I would say.
I think this is fake.
You think so?
Absolutely.
You think it's fake one.
Oh, fake. It's absolutely.
You think it is?
I think it's absolutely fake.
Okay.
You know what gave it away? The ones who say that they're straight, I don't give them anything. Stop it. That's trolling behavior. You're trying to specifically incite certain emotions out of people. This is so fake. But I mean, we could talk about it, but I don't believe this is real for a second.
You don't think so? I do.
This is clickbait.
And I do believe it could absolutely be fake, right? I totally believe it could be some fake shit, because there's a lot of fake shit on the internet, right? There's anything for ratings and views and shares and likes, and I get it, right? But I also feel like we are in that piss poor of a culture and society that could absolutely be some woman teacher who really feels like that's what it is. That's what it is.
I think it's a representation of what some people see. But the thing is, with these movements, especially when you're dealing with children, because it's a little bit more sensitive. You're talking fourth grade, so they do it. They're much more subtle when it comes to this. And you talking about, well, this is what I do. And see, now let me show you how they loading it up. Number one, she got her face covered up because she don't want nobody to actually see who she really is. Because you over here trolling, first of all, and then you don't want to be called out. You don't want to lose your job. It's like you trolling, but you still hiding your face. That's the equivalent of people come on Free Thinkers and they they ain't got no profile picture.
Video, no camera. Right.
And then number two, think deeper. What is she? She got a Black Lives Matter. I
know. I was like, oh, she pulling out all the stuff.
No, I'm telling you, they just like, we gonna gasoline this whole thing up.
Damn.
Make sure we get everybody. It's such troll. And as soon as she said, oh, for the people who come out straight, oh, they don't get a cupcake. They don't get. You're doing that on purpose. You're trying to incite emotions out of people.
But there are people, there are teachers, there are adults who are teachers who are just that nasty, though. Who would do?
People who are. She's a troll, but there's people who do that, though.
Especially during Pride Month, there was a lot of videos, of course, that went around from people who did not support Pride, right? Who we're just showing like the inside of school buildings and classrooms and how every fucking thing has been thrown up on by a rainbow. And like, if you don't participate, or if you didn't wear your rainbow shirt, or if you didn't wear your rainbow pom-poms, or if you don't have your rainbow this, that, and whatever, like, you were not included. So like, you were excluded, if you didn't participate in the charades, which I feel like were some of these schools, as the doors open and there's fucking rainbows everywhere and everyone's got on flags of rainbows and got their little thingies, right? Like, again, you can do all that. And I think that there are absolutely, unfortunately, children who the only safe space for them may be school, may be a teacher, may be, an administrator. Like, it's unfortunate that, children aren't safe at home, right? When it comes to situations like this. So it's really fucked up that the school has to be in that position where we expect you to be our kid's parent, but you damn sure can't make any decisions, and you can't interject, and you can't interfere, and you can't, impose your beliefs. I get it. It's a catch-22. It's a tricky thing for a teacher, quite possibly, right? But I believe that there are women out there just like her who are absolutely grooming and molding children.
Oh yeah, no, I believe that. No, I believe it's a representation of real stuff that happened. They just they embellish that because they doing clicks, but no, that actually happens. Who this Facebook user said I want a cupcake. Listen, let me tell you something though. I don't know if you have or not. You got cupcakes, but then you got nothing but cakes. Have you had nothing but cakes?
Of course, I've had nothing but cakes.
What you feel since you the expertise baker? How do you feel about that? That is the closest thing to God.
It's a delicious moist cake, don't get me wrong, and the frosting is thick and it's lovely. But
I want your take on it. I want your expertise take on
it. They're too wet in my opinion, and they taste commercialized. Like, you can absolutely taste that every single carrot cake tastes the same, and every chocolate cake tastes the same, and every frosting tastes the same. And yes, of course, if you're following
the same, it
is. But if you follow a recipe, there's always going to be something different every single batch, and so there's just going to be something in there. But you taste the preservatives. Like, for me, I taste commercial made things totally differently than I taste things that are not made commercially, and you literally can tell the preservatives and some of that stuff. Would I turn down another bun cake? No, I'm not turning down a fucking cake. But would I ask for somebody to bring me one? Never. No, I wouldn't.
I respect and appreciate your expertise opinion.
Well, thank you.
And I've tasted your cooking, so what you say, I take your word on that. I'm just I'm thankful for my substandard palate, so that I still enjoy it regardless.
Look,
ignorance is bliss sometimes.
we'll get clients, or we'll get marketers, we'll get like other treatment centers and shit. They'll come to our place and they'll drop off goodies and stuff. Excuse me. Sorry. And when I see the nothing but cakes box, out. Knowing that there's like 24 minis in there, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm popping them like popcorn, because you can put like 2-3 whole little minis in your mouth if you really want to. So again, they are tasty. Don't get me wrong, they're tasty, but it's not a place that good.
Okay, I got it. Get you some nothing bun cakes. I tell you what. If you can't get Nikki to cook for you, then that's my next best. Okay, what else we got?
Oh, Lord Jesus, sorry. Oh, yeah, speaking of which, so the bakery will be open for the holidays, so, put your orders in. Put your orders in. All right, so we got the agenda pushing teachers. She said I want to know what you mean. Let's see, I want to know what you mean. Oh, Lord knows I can't read. Applebee's, Cheesecake Factory, TGI Fridays, etc. taste like frozen food, and they do put stuff in industrial microwaves there. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you taste that in prepared food. Like, and I have a really hard time. As much as I eat out and as much as I love to go to restaurants, I do not fucking go to franchise restaurants for so many reasons. But
I'm starting to be able to tell, like, there's a certain taste when you go to all of them. It's like, it's kind of,
They
There's a
all
lot
taste
I'm
the same.
starting to, yeah, I'm
Yep.
starting to, I'm just now over it. I guess maybe I've been eating too much. I'm able to tell the
I had a lot of food in my day. I've been to a lot of restaurants. Like we
yeah, but
love
it's a
food.
lot of yeah, especially them franchise chains. There's certain things I eat, but it's a lot of like, it's the same thing no matter where you go.
Well, and to her point, I believe it was Demetrius that posted that. To that point, a lot of that stuff is microwave. So I remember once years ago going to Olive Garden for a dinner with somebody,
It's been
and
Olive Garden years,
I don't go to Olive Garden because I make those things, right? So like I
right?
just don't go to Olive Garden anymore. And so we went, and I was kind of excited to like eat something that was not made by me and get some Olive Garden Ben minute salad and some soup and some pasta. That whole fucking meal came from a microwave. They didn't boil nan noodle. They didn't make nan cheese.
Hmm.
Everything was from a microwave. I was like, people are really paying 40, 50, 60, 70, $80
Yeah, that's crazy.
a fucking Olive Garden for
Now
microwaved food.
they used to have really good breadsticks,
Yeah, they did.
and I'm a big olive person. Like their
Oh,
salad would have really good
no.
olives in it. I
Oh, I
love the.
can't do it.
You don't like
Okay.
olives?
I do not like olives.
Oh
Not
man,
black
I
or
love
green.
olives.
Nope.
I will go. When I got money, when I'm balling, like because olives they can get expensive too.
Are
I
olives
just
are
go.
pricey?
Oh yeah,
So do you ever
yeah.
do like the olive bar at HEB?
Yes. I
Yeah,
was about to say, I
yeah.
go to Whole Foods or I go to the best one. They got a Whole Foods in Central Market. I go there and it's
Yeah, they have a great
I always go there.
fresh food section. Yeah.
I do like olives. I do like olives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Food in restaurants. So people think I'm a bougie food person. I'm like, I am the absolute opposite. I will go to every restaurant that has a fucking, questionable exterior and interior. Like if you haven't failed inspection a couple of times, I probably don't really want to like your food. Like, no, I'm so not a bougie food person, but I do not do franchise restaurants. And food is so I don't know if
Still
I'm
do
just at
Papa
this point in my
Do's,
life
but
where I'm bored with
I
food.
will do Papa Do's. I tell you that though. And even Papacitos. I ain't been Papa.
We did
No
Papacitos is
Papacitos
amazing.
anymore.
We did Papados last month when the Austin Hip Hop Honors
Yes.
Awards was here. A bunch of us went to Papados afterwards, and I had been to Papados in
Oh, I'll be there.
years at
Let me
that
tell
point.
you, the alligator. You get the alligator there.
Oh, I mean, I didn't this last time, but I've had plenty of garum. I've had plenty of
Oh, and
alligators
you
in
know
my
what
life.
I found out now? I knew about the alligator. And I get the Mardi Gras pasta. They got the sausage, shrimp, and used to have crawfish almost. But what I did not know, their crab spinach dip.
Mhm.
That might be some of the best spinach dip I've had anywhere I've been. It
There's
is
so much that you can
outstanding.
get from Papados that isn't really top notch. Yes, they are a chain restaurant, but they touch every plate individually. So when we went to the Papados, I always get the fucking fried platter, and I was like, no, let me get something else. So I think I got a red snapper something with like pistachio honey roasted carrots, and it was fucking stellar. Like the flavor of the fish, the seasoning, I was thoroughly impressed. And I haven't felt that way about restaurant food in a long time. I was like, damn, this is really not good because now I'm gonna want to go to Papados all the time. And I can't be going to
Yeah.
Papados all the fucking time.
Nope.
And
I'm glad
especially
it's not that
especially when
close
we
to me.
got $185 oyster dates coming up here. Did you see that post about the lady?
Oh, I think I did see. Yeah, I did see that. Okay, look, we can keep moving. We got like a little bit over 30 minutes now. Facebook, you said, "Have you tried that's the fried alligator." Yeah. Oh, somebody else. Yeah. Okay, we on the same page. That fried alligator. That ain't even what I was trying to go. They said you get the olives and they put it
Whole
in the
Foods.
mozzarella season. Olive.
Yep.
Oh man. Yes.
See,
so
I
I'm
wouldn't
with
even know how to prepare olives because I don't like them. So, like, if you were like, Nick, make me some olive something, I'd be like, I don't even know if this is good or not because I
don't
don't
even
like
have
olives.
to. You know what? I don't put olives in a lot of. I'll eat them just by themselves, or I like olives with like sandwiches, like sub sandwiches. So
Really?
as much as I love pizza, I don't like olives
I
on
was
my
just gonna say, what
pizza
about
or my
pizza?
burger or anything. No, I don't. But I like it on my sandwiches. I'll either put it on my sandwiches or I'll have them to the side. And as I'm eating the sandwich, then I'm popping olives at the same time too. And it's like,
Do you eat pickles?
I eat pickles. Pickles on I will do pickles sometimes on sandwiches.
So I can do pickles.
Now you know what? I don't like mushrooms on my sandwich, but I love mushrooms.
Oh God, no.
I love mushrooms on my pizza though.
Oh no, I don't do mushrooms at all. That's why I call my food page the terrible fucking vegan, because usually vegans' alternative is like eggplant and mushroom. And I don't like either one of those. So I'm a horrible vegan because I don't make anything with mushrooms.
Sauteed mushrooms, yes.
Oh,
so even if you get
you
don't eat no meat. I'm like, how you get a Philly cheesesteak and you don't, well, I guess you don't have to, but I love the sauteed.
But when I ate Philly cheesesteak, it was just onions, peppers, cheese.
Yeah,
meat.
you don't have to. You don't have to put the mushrooms on there. But
I love onions and peppers. And I love Philly cheesesteak. And that's one of those things you cannot fucking make vegan. I don't care what anybody says.
Right.
And I don't eat mock meat. So like I don't eat Impossible or Beyond. So you really can't do a vegan Philly very well. But no, all this remain.
Okay.
Pickles all day.
Let's go. We got 30 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. So you want to pick one, or you want me to pick another one?
You could pick another really quick. Plucker's issue is you can't. You need the thick fried pickles. Like you need where they cut them long and
the spears.
Yes, because they stay juicy.
Slices.
Yeah, the slices they dry out and they don't and
they're hella salty. Everybody makes them too salty when they're chips. When they're spears, like Alamo Draft House. Ooh.
Right. Yes.
I think I'd be going to Alamo Draft House just for the pickles. But didn't Pluckers used to do the spears? Does the Pluckers do spears? I didn't think Pluckers did the chips. I thought Pluckers did the long ones.
I can't remember. I thought they did chips. I thought they did chips. I think they do both, to tell you the truth. I think they might do both, but
okay.
I remember having chips there before too.
And she said fried green tomatoes. Give me some fried green tomatoes and some ranch, baby.
They do them right. I went to this place downtown in Memphis. Oh my God!
Stop right there.
I had these fried green tomatoes. Oh, they was. And it make it so bad. That was 20. And to this day, I've never had any that good before. Since then,
have you had them at Spring Hill in Pflugerville, the catfish restaurant?
Spring Hill, Pflugerville, where?
It's literally at the top of the hill. Like when you're going into Pflugerville from 35, it's like right by Austin Driving School. It's like you can't miss it. It's just Spring Hill Catfish Restaurant. It's been there forever in Austin. But it's just a local catfish joint in Pflugerville called Spring Hill. It's like really, like literally off of.
You mean
Spring
like
Hill,
off of Howard or off?
No, it's like down. It's like what?
It's downtown Pflugerville.
It's not quite downtown, but it's like right before that. I think it's before. Is it on 685? I think it's on 685.
I'm gonna find. I will make a trip to give me some.
But they have some bomb ass fried green tomatoes, and they have a catfish buffet. So they don't have a whole. I mean, to me, they're not like a bomb ass spot, but they got some good ass fried green tomatoes. Oh yeah, I had this at 1825. So yeah, it's like right there in the heart of Pflugerville.
I probably maybe by next time we talk, I'll be like, yeah, I went by
there you go. But right across the street from the shooting range. That's it. Good fucking mile marker, because I was trying to figure out where it was at.
I probably this Saturday. I'm probably gonna have to go by there. And go.
Let me know. I'll meet you.
Sure will. Okay, let's keep
lunch.
Y'all can't get us talking about food, and then we.
I know I'm so hungry right now. So I wanted to do Petty Granny. You want to do Petty Granny?
I don't even know what that is. Just
all right, let me see. I keep moving the damn videos and it keeps like moving where I've put them. So hold on, let me see. So Petty Granny, I posted on the Facebook page as well. There's a couple, I mean, it's probably like 2 minutes to this, so it's a couple different slides.
Hi, baby. She's coming to pick you up. Hi, baby. Hi. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Where's the stuff? What's the clothes? Like, I mean, you got that nice BMW out there, honey. You can't buy them no diapers. Every time we send him with stuff, and y'all don't bring nothing back. So he just gonna be naked? He got clothes on. He got clothes in the bottle. Y'all can buy milk, diapers, shoes, all that stuff. We're not buying none of that. So no worries. Yeah, no worries. Have a good day. Y'all bring him back empty-handed. Don't be bringing nothing. Bye. They got me messed up out here, honey. Nope, not in this life. Have a good one. Glad you got your own car seat. Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah. I got us some stuff out the trunk.
I'm sorry, you did what?
I got us some stuff. I'm gonna get it out the trunk.
Attitude? Okay. Attitude much, honey. She got a little attitude because they done finally bought something. Yeah. Hey, Papa, did you have a good time? You want to go back out the door? Papa, look. Papa trying to... Ooh, honey, they brought some stuff this time, baby. What? Hold on, Papa. Let me get this. Hold on, there you go, baby.
Hey.
Wow.
Make sure he has some stuff so he doesn't come empty-handed next time.
Well, I mean, it's about time y'all buy something because, honey, y'all don't be doing nothing. So thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate it because y'all do the most.
Bye-bye, baby. Bye-bye, baby.
Say bye-bye. Come on, Papa.
So that was pretty much it. You get the gist of it?
Yeah. So the first person came, was that like the daughter or the...
So I think that the grandma that had the son was the daughter's mom.
Right.
And the dad's mom was coming to pick up baby. So it was two grandmas. It was the mom's mom and the dad's mom.
Hold on, slow down. So the first one
is the baby mama. So that's the mom's.
So the grandmother who was filming it in the house, that was the dad's.
No, that's
mother.
the mom's. I believe that's the mom's mom, because it's the dad's family who was coming to pick up the kid. The dad's mom was coming to pick up the kid. So baby daddy mama. So grandma from the dad was coming to pick up kid.
But the first person and the second person came. That wasn't the same person, though, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, so the same person.
So the lady that came to pick up the baby and the lady that came back with baby and baby stuff was the same grandma.
Oh, that was the same person.
So that grandma was dad's mom.
Oh,
okay. The grandma that had the baby was the mom's mom. So baby daddy mama was coming to get, the little boy from baby mama.
Right.
There was a lot of people on the original post and all over every place I've seen this be posted who literally think that the original grandma who's filming was absolutely in the wrong, that she was petty and she was in the wrong. And I wholeheartedly disagree. So I'm curious to see what your thoughts are.
Petty, yes. Especially, what are you talking about? Oh, y'all see y'all got this new BMW. You being petty. But is she wrong for not providing them with any extra diapers and stuff like that? No. And then sometimes petty can have a purpose.
Better go get your ass to buy some diapers when you bring his baby back.
So, but the question is, how come you don't have any diapers at your house? How come you don't have any bottles? How come you don't have any clothes? How come you don't have any of this stuff at your house?
And why you don't bring it back?
Right.
So when I send the baby with the stuff, since maybe you don't have it right now, and you're trying to get it together, he's brand new, like it's a new baby. I get it, they're fucking expensive. Like maybe you're trying to get yourself established. All right, cool. Send the baby over with the stuff the first couple visits. All right, cool. But if you're not bringing shit back, you don't return what I sent over, and you're not providing anything else, like all he has is what I give, he can stay home.
But see, that's the it's a bad habit. Like it's a bad habit moving forward.
A bad habit?
To this is mine, y'all need to get your own, make sure y'all have it. See, it's not as big of a deal since the child is so small. And I'm speaking now from my personal experience, because I've have dealt, and I'm still dealing with that. Like a lot of times, the clothes that I get, then the kids, when it's time for them to go back, then they're wearing the clothes, and then the clothes don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
But then, when she come pick me, she got them in these raggedy stuff and pajamas.
She
and
wants you to buy them more clothes.
And exactly, and I'm like, where's the clothes that? Well, I don't know. I'll look for them and see, and everything that but anyway, my whole point is, it's definitely one-sided. She does want me to buy more clothes, this and that. But for me, especially when a child gets a certain age, I am not going to be the one telling them to take their clothes off and put other clothes on. And like, it's a bad look. Every time, well, it's time for you to go back to your mom's house. I need you to take these clothes off. And it's so possessive. And so then the children are so much more involved in that pettiness that they don't need to be in. I'm like, look, just look. Just, I bought you this. Take it. Enjoy it. It may come back. It may not. Whatever. Right. I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of regardless. And the last thing I want you to do is be in the middle of a conversation between me and her as to, well, I'm going to dad's house. I got to wear these shoes. I got to take these up. That ain't no. And if you're talking about you want the child to have as close to of a normal life as you can, you're teaching them to have sides already, because you're doing like little stupid petty stuff, and they looking like, oh, okay, I guess in the back of their mind, like, okay, is these my clothes or are they not my clothes? Are these my shoes or are they not my shoes? Do I like? I'm not doing that. That's the part to where I'm like, look, whatever. That's where I go back to, look, God got me regardless. Even taking care of me, you can act petty if you want to. I'm not going to have number one, I ain't going to have my kids dressing raggedy nowhere unless they just choose to dress weird.
Right.
Or put you in no raggedy clothes and send you off somewhere. No, I'm not doing it. You can do it if you want to. I ain't doing it. So yes, petty, but is a person wrong for that? I ain't gonna say they're wrong, but I'm looking more just at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is I want my kids not involved in that type of conversation or foolishness, because all of it's still foolish no matter what. And sometimes you get dragged in foolishness. Sometimes you start the foolishness, but it's still foolish.
And I agree 100% with everything that you said. I do. My hope is that in this particular situation, right, baby is brand new, baby's little, baby's right. Not old like our kids, and they're old enough to understand the bullshit that we have to go through with their other parent, right? Like, baby don't know shit at this point. So maybe, just maybe, this grandmother put her foot down now, so that we're not doing this when they're 5, 6, 8, 9, 12 years old. Because what ends up happening is, at what point do I get to put my boundaries into play? Right. No, I don't want my kids to suffer. No, I don't want to send the kids over their red.
Was petty though.
It was petty, but bitch, if you got a BMW sitting in front of the house, you better have some diapers in a bottle. Why are you eating up my supply at my house? Right. Our kids had this baby. Both these parents need to be responsible for their children. Right. And all too often you see, and it goes both men's side and women's side, where somebody has the kid, they're never prepared, they don't have food, and especially the baby, they don't have diapers, they don't have no crib, they don't have no swing, they ain't got shit. And that's cool. I get it. Everybody, has different financial situations, but that's a part of being a fucking parent. You have to have what your kid needs to have. Mm-hmm. And if you co-parent properly, I'll get you this time, you get me next time. There's ways that you can work that out, right? But when you have somebody who's hella bitter and hella immature, mm-hmm. they're just going to be like, fuck you and your money. And you can easily look at that as the mom saying, well, if you don't have anything at the house, well, fine, I'm not going to send the baby over there. Baby can stay home. Bet mm-hmm. It's a win-win situation. I ain't got to watch the kid. I just keep him at home. So at some point, you have to say enough is enough. This grandmother is not entitled to have her boundaries taken advantage of. This grandmother's not, obligated to let these people walk all over her and just keep giving out shit that they not returning back. Like, no means no. Y'all are capable enough to go get supplies for this baby. Today's gonna be the day you're gonna get this baby with a diaper and a bottle and go get his shit prepared and bring it back on Sunday. And I don't need diapers. He got diapers over here.
I want to do the baby daddy live with his mother, the grandmother.
I don't know. But and I want to say what kind of grandmother, but that's a stupid statement to say, because there's a whole lot of grandmothers out here who weren't good mothers, so let alone expect them to be good grandmothers, right? But like, most good mothers who raised their children and, you know, provided for their children wouldn't let their grandbaby go without. But at some point, we have to stop enabling and co-signing other people's bullshit. And this baby is old enough to where they've obviously had enough interchanges on the weekends where y'all steady not returning our stuff. You're not contributing to it. You're not bringing nothing. Like, y'all just taking the baby and my money. No, I don't got to. I bet you they went and bought some shit that day. They went straight to H-E-B, got some formula and some socks and some diapers because they have no choice. If you give certain people a choice, they're just going to fucking take advantage of it. And it sucks that that woman had to be in that position. But I didn't think she was petty. I didn't think she was wrong. Hey, you going to learn today.
No, I am, like, me being the you know, if the kids are leaving from my house and well, you got this, do you got that? How come you ain't got it? Make sure you know. Right. So I get that part. It's like, I'm not responsible to provide you with the things that you should already have for them. How come you don't already have those things? So it's I guess the part that I will say is, well, I guess the woman was wrong for asking right up front. She should have just, but it's like, there's certain conversations I'm not going to have in front of my kids.
Right. Yeah. Most adult
and I know the child is still a baby,
children.
but if you do that as a baby, the children are going to get older and that tension is going to still be there. And I have, I've been looked at a certain way, and I've been, you know, because if you're trying to do something off of principle, you like, no, we ain't doing this off principle. And even with my wife, I would have situations where I knew she was right as far as what we should do and what we shouldn't let. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm not even getting in. I'm not even going to get involved in that type of back and forth. My focus is on my children, period. You keep on being petty, you got to be petty by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it. And I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm just not. So she wrong. I mean, but and even so, you can still do the.
But
let me
is
say
she
this.
wrong? Is she wrong? Is she wrong?
Let me say this, Nikki. Can you do the right thing the wrong way?
Can you do the right thing the wrong way? I mean, I'm sure you could do the right thing the wrong way, but I don't think that what she did was wrong. I don't think that her putting her foot down was a wrong thing to do.
Yeah. I'm still starting to BMW comment. And then, you know, another adult attitude. Like, come on.
I didn't like that part. She was being a little facetious.
You're doing it and you're trying to provoke conflict.
Well, who knows what their dynamic is? Who knows what kind of, you know, family issues they've had like all this time, right? Like, obviously there's some other underlying issues possibly, but
that's where I can say you may be doing the right thing the wrong way. If you have the child's best interest in mind, then there's better ways to go about just being petty and throwing shade and shots at people. I think that's the wrong way to go about doing it.
So both people didn't have the children's best interest in mind.
Nope.
Because the people picking them up ain't never prepared. They just like, hey, this granny finna foot the bill, so cool. We ain't gotta buy shit. We don't have to provide shit. We don't gotta stock nothing up. Like, bet, cool.
But that made me go back to your
since the daddy pays child support, then he ain't gotta buy nothing extra since I pay child support over here. Because there'd be some broke ass, simp ass dudes who really think like that, right? Like, it's just, I don't think that the lady was wrong. And it was so interesting to me reading the comments of people literally slamming that woman about how immature she was and how she should have sent the baby's belongings. And I'm like, y'all must have not never had to deal with no weird ass in-laws or crummy, you know, other parents type situation to not have been taken advantage of in this type of situation. Because if you've ever been taken advantage of in this situation, it's fucked up.
Heather, I was wondering that too. Heather said, why did it have to be done on camera? And I was wondering that because, you know, I'm always looking like, is this real? Is this fake? Is this why you got this camera ready all the time? But I was thinking, I'm like, it could. And then I'm like, I don't think this is fake. What happens a lot of times, and let me tell you again from personal experience, when you consistently have conflict and interaction and somebody acting fool,
You need some shit recorded.
I can't tell you how many times I'm wearing a flannel shirt and I got to put my phone in my pocket just to make sure I'm recording. Like, whether it's visual or at least audio, I got to make sure that ain't no telling what stupid stuff gonna pop off. So I gotta. So I get that part. It's like I had to do that several times when you have had so many instances of there being conflict. But again, I can't get away from this. The woman invites the conflict constantly when you throwing shots. That's the part I don't like, and it takes away. If you're trying to do something genuine, it makes me question your motive when you're picking at someone.
Well, hurt people still hurt people, and bitter people still do bitter people shit. I'm not saying she might not be petty in her life, right? But I don't think the action of sending baby with nothing but, his clothes on in a bottle, I don't think that was petty. But I think her saying attitude, I was like, now, girl, you being messy now. And the whole, about your car, like when you checking people's pockets like that, and she could be upset, right? But you still gotta always one up the next person. You gotta be better than.
I got and now Brian Johnson, it's definitely shouldn't been posted. See, now why you gotta post it? What was the necessity of posting that?
Awareness to all grandparents and shitty parents. You finna get your baby sent home.
Leads more into her pettiness. So it's like I can't. Even if I can't say she was wrong. I don't agree with any of it, because whatever you do, everything else around her supposedly doing the right thing was surrounded by just wrong actions, and the way that you handle it is wrong and immature. So again, you do the right thing, but you're immature when you're doing it. It takes away. From that. That was completely immature.
Yeah, I agree. The statements was immature. And she got a little bit more growth to do. But to Heather's point, they could have sat down. Maybe they have. Maybe I mean, the baby's like what, 3, 4, 5 months old, right? So you got 9 months of pregnancy and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever months of baby being here. Who's to say that they haven't had this conversation before? Who's to say that, baby mama hasn't said like, hey, can you please make sure that you send him back with such and such? Or can you please make sure that, they may have been trying this whole entire time up until that day. When grandma said, I'm fucking done with these people, man. We've been trying this whole entire time. The nice way, the, help you out way, the look out for you way, the we ain't even gonna say nothing way because it's the baby and we just happy that the daddy and his family is in the kid's life. Like, we just gonna take what they give us. But at some point, you gotta say no.
Okay, so so now a couple of things is why is the grandmother, you're saying the woman that picked her up was the other grandmother? Is that what you're saying?
I believe that to be the dad's mom. Yes.
The one that picked them up was the dad's mom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the one that had the baby was the mom's mom.
Okay, I got you on that. Yeah. So there is a question, like why would you ask? Do you have the stuff, and do you have you should have your own stuff. Now I was almost, because I was thinking like, now if that is the mom's mom, like, so the mom don't even, if you keep the child with you primarily, you should already have this stuff. Or even if you don't, then now I got a question like why don't the mother have her child either? I don't know. I guess I'd have to figure out who's.
Well, mom might live with her mom. She may. I mean, hell, I was 21 years old living with my parents' house when I was little, young with a fucking kid. So she might still live at home with her family, but doesn't change the fact that if you have a baby, you got to be prepared, and you can only string people along for so long with you not helping in the cost and the care of what it takes to have a kid in your possession, man. And if it's one of those weekends where you just ain't got it and the check was shit and I ain't got no formula money right now, man, you can either ask and I'll get it for you, or just let me know and he can stay home this weekend. But you're not gonna just keep, you don't get no freebies. I'm just not.
Right. And then she was asking like with expectation, like you got the diapers and the bot. Like, if you would have came correctly, hey, I wasn't able to get such and such. I got to get paid tomorrow. There are a couple of, like, you should be asking instead of expecting.
Right. He just gonna be naked? Well, he He got clothes on. He all right. Take him to fucking Walmart right now. Go get him something. He gonna have to eat. I just fed him. I just changed him, and I got him some clean clothes on. The rest is on you. And sometimes you got to do people like that, man. Sometimes you literally have to put your foot down. And doing the right thing doesn't always feel good. Doing the right thing isn't going to be liked by most people, but you gonna
and
learn.
That is weird for the other grandmama to be like, oh, so you just gonna leave him out? Like, what did you do when you raised your kids? You just didn't you figure it out? Get it?
Makes you wonder. What is your son like?
Right. Yep.
What did y'all do? Like, why do y'all not have the common? Like, what did you do when you had a baby? Like, let me find out one of my kids is having a baby. And again, this is different, right? Because all grandparents are different, right? Like, but let me find out my kids got a baby coming. Let me find out any one of my girls got a baby coming. I'm gonna have the crib and the chair and the swing and like just because like you have plenty of time to prepare for a baby. You got a whole 9 months to get your house ready. If you slept on it, that's on you, man. But I stand by that lady. I don't think she was petty. I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think she was in the wrong.
Yeah, I don't think she was in the wrong. But it's just where your focus is.
Right.
My focus is on making sure my kids are properly taken care of. I have 2 rooms in my house that stay empty 20-some days out the month.
Right.
When they come, that's their room. They got their own space. They got their stuff. It's like,
And kudos to you as a dad for doing such. You didn't have to buy a big ass house with room to accommodate your children that come over every other weekend and 3 weeks here and a month here and da-da-da. Like you could have literally just shoved them in a room like a lot of dads do. Here, y'all got y'all one room, y'all share it. Or we got y'all get y'all pallets and you can put them down in the studio. Like we all have to start somewhere. But kudos to you for making sure that y'all had a room for both of those kids to be able to have their home when they come to y'all's house.
It's not you. Well, we going to dad. So no, we going to our other house. We're going to our other home. Yeah. Where I got my room, I got my stuff and my computers and my game. Yeah. Like I got all of my stuff. And when I leave and I come back,
all my shit's in there.
It's in there in the same way that I left it. That's just, and that's the one thing. And that was even before I moved to my new house and even my old house I was in the last 4 years. They all had their own rooms then too.
Yeah. Yep.
That was my mindset. Like even like the whole, even with church, like the church that I take them to is not the church that I regularly, when they're not here with me, I don't attend that church, attend a different church.
Really?
But they've been going to Shoreline since they were babies.
Right.
So once me and, their mama split this, and I'm like, no, I'm going to keep their life as smoothly as possible to what they used to. And that's what they used to. Then we make that drive. It's a drive now. It was around the corner, but it's a drive. Oh yeah, it is. And every single, just like clockwork, we're gonna do that. Like, so they don't feel like they're visiting, even though they don't see me all the time. They feel like they're at home when they're here. And when we go to it ain't no your house.
Right.
If when they would even try to say your house, I correct them. No, this is your house. This is our house.
Right. I mean, and what people I don't think sometimes think about is that's a landing pad, right? That's a crash landing pad. That's a landing pad. Like that's a security to a child. And a lot of people grew up without having security, not even knowing that they didn't have it. They didn't have a consistent address. They didn't have a consistent routine. They didn't have a consistent anything. It was just nonstop, just bouncing and just whatever has to happen, right? And for whatever reason, our parents we're in the situation that they were, it is what it is. Right. But that's for me, between the times of, just instability in my life over the last 30 years, 27 years now as a parent, that's been the greatest goal, I think, for myself, is just always making sure that I have consistency and security for them. Home was not an option. It may not be like home that everybody else might think of home. It may not be fancy like home. It may not have all the, bells and whistles that home may be to the next person, but this is home. You can't take that from them. They may not have anything else to call theirs, but this fucking bedroom is mine. Like I tell my kids that's their offices, right? Like those are your offices. That's your space. That is your room. That is their sanctuary. And, and even in situations, like with your kids going back and forth, that's fucking tough for kids to have to deal with. So they know when we get to dad's, it's home.
Right.
Oh my God, damn, my
Absolutely.
stuff and my things, and I don't have to worry about somebody taking stuff. I don't have to worry about somebody sleeping in my bed when I'm not here. I don't have to worry, it's my shoes coming up missing, my video games come up missing. Like,
Right.
there's little things that you can put into play that make all the big difference for kids, all the hugest difference. And I think sometimes people just really don't stop to think about how innocent our children are, and how much shit sometimes we put them through just by our own adult lenses of not getting on their level and understanding what they actually need.
But that can happen when and that goes back to the whole conversation we was having about this. That can happen if you allow your focus to get off.
True.
If I allow my focus to be on their mother and what she's doing, or me trying to get one up on her, or me trying to put her in her place because I think she's doing this wrong, or whatever the case is, my focus is on her when it's supposed to be on them.
Right.
And when your focus is off, then that's the type of stuff that slips through the cracks, and your children, can be they already going through stuff.
Right.
You in a split home.
Right.
But for you focused on the person who matters the least in my life.
Right. Really,
and neglecting the ones who matter the most in my life, which is my children. That's all I was. I'll say this all the time. Big picture. I'm looking at the big picture.
Right.
That's make sure your focus is in the right place.
Right.
And their focus right now, hopefully, they get it together before that child becomes of the age to where it affects them.
Right.
More so than it is now.
Right. Agree.
We're at 1:30. I guess we're still on topic for the most.
We got a couple comments down here.
I think we touched most of them, I think.
Yeah, for the most part. What do we got? We got anything else we want to hit?
If you want to give 5 minutes, I told you I'm tired.
Let's see, what do we got? I don't have any more videos, but I got, this was actually from a couple weeks ago that I was going to play. We never got around to it. So totally different direction, really. And, so just because we give language warnings, this is definitely a not safe for children video that I'm fixing to show. But it's an interesting point because men have talked about this a few times in these conversations and on this show about just how women want or expect men to handle disrespect. Oh, my man gonna this, or my man gonna that, or my man, he should do this. Okay, so that's basically what this video is about. So it's a minute and 53, so it's it's kind of a longer one, whatever. But definitely not safe for children, so get them kids out the room.
All the niggas in jail is because of a goddamn woman, bro. And I'm just not trying to add to that statistic.
If you are out walking with your man, right, and a group of men come up and disrespect you, say one of them smacks your ass and all of them start laughing and stuff, what do you expect your man to do?
Beat their ass?
The whole group.
I mean, I don't want to say too much on here, but something's going to be done.
Getting physical, whether that's a talk, whether that's, what are you, you know what I mean? But for sure, because if not, then I'm going to, and then that's the problem.
Chris,
don't give me that face.
Chris, talk some shit, Chris.
Listen.
Of course, naturally, you're going to want to whoop these niggas' asses, but I'm just saying, man, it's a tough job being a nigga, ain't it? Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Of course, I'm supposed to immediately, bro, what you on? We bout that. I'm from Chicago too. It's cool. And if it's too many of them, if I got it on me, it's cool. We gonna do whatever. I bet you 75% of the men in jail right now, it stems from a woman. Either somebody talking to their woman, fucking their woman, disrespect.
If you are out walking,
and I'm just not trying to add to that statistic. It's on top of the fact that y'all expect us to pay for every goddamn thing. We supposed to
die for y'all.
We don't even have the luxury of being afraid like a normal human being in normal fearful situations.
I didn't say whoop their ass. I said you could talk to them.
But what I'm saying is, as a man, if you with your nigga, as a man, if this motherfucker caught on fire right now, he's supposed to help. He ain't supposed to just take off running like his natural instinct. He's supposed to make sure you're okay first. Yeah. Even on the goddamn airplane, they say put your mask on first before you help others.
Yeah.
But a woman... Motherfucker start shooting in here right now. I'm supposed to go like this over you and run with you hand in hand, knowing damn well I could take off right there. I could be good.
It depends.
fucking a woman
It was interesting to hear it be said again that so many men are behind bars, behind women. I was like, damn, I keep hearing that be said when we have these conversations about like how women expect men to respond to disrespect in public. So that was kind of interesting to hear that be mentioned again. Because then you think about it, aside from, drugs and money and, gangs and shit like that, like it's probably a lot of them in there behind a woman. Some shit related to a woman.
I'm still trying to figure out what was the guy's point with that. Is he saying that we are required to do more than what we should be required to do or expected to do?
I think just the conundrum of how do women expect men to respond when like men aren't even allowed to be afraid. Men aren't even allowed to want to run. Men have to like program themselves to shield woman and shield child. And do you shield just your woman or do you shield all women? Like, so I think just the sentiment that women expect a man who, if a man disrespects your woman in front of your man, a woman expects the man to like, jump into, attack mode and beat this dude up and, kill this dude or, in front of this woman because this man disrespected her.
So this
is that realistic?
What confuses me about his statement is that he's putting the onus on the woman's expectation of the man versus, for me, that's my expectation of myself, that I'm going to be a protector of my woman and my child and whoever else is. That's my expectation. I don't need a woman to tell me, well, I expect you to do. No, I already expect that for myself. So for someone who says it like, oh, y'all just want us to do everything, like putting the onus on the woman, like y'all got all these expectations of us. Why don't you have that expectation of yourself? I guess that's the part that confused me. And if you don't want to do it, then don't, and go find you a woman who don't put that expectation.
Well, but that's just it. So what is society going to call the man who can't or chooses not to protect the woman? It's a little bit different because this situation.
Again, but this is being smart though. So what is protecting the woman? So again, I'm a chess player, right? You got to play chess in every situation. First of all, be careful about the situations you could potentially put someone in.
That part.
Maybe 15 years ago, but going down to 6th Street on a Saturday night is not always the best option right now. You might need to go to Rainy or go somewhere.
Right.
Oh, like some of the stuff that's a bad choice from the jump. You put yourself and your lady in an environment to where that type of stuff happens and can happen, and it's a higher chance of things like that happen. Now it's not, but and then you want to make sure that you're respectful.
Right.
When you show respect, then you usually get respect. Now the situation that they talked about is a little far-fetched. I've never had anyone just come straight out and just try to disrespect my woman right in front of me, open like group of men. And for any group of men who do that openly, blatantly, in front of you with your woman, you holding your woman hand, and they trying to start something with you.
Right.
More than likely, even back at home, they're really probably trying to jack you, tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
They're prodding for a response so that they could beat you down and rob you. And they waiting on you to do. So again, chess, you got to think about. So this is what I'm saying. Me stepping up with my chest out, trying to fight 4 or 5 dudes. Is that actually protecting my woman?
Right.
Because the chances are I'm gonna get knocked out. The probability is I'm gonna get knocked out. And anybody who talking about I could take 4 or 5 grown men, you not no fighter. Anybody who talk about it, you ain't no fighter. Even skilled fighters have a hard time taking on 4 or 5 people.
Right.
It's just not. Just stop it. Right. People talking about that. So now, after you knocked out, laid on the ground, your woman is unprotected.
Yeah, now he's protecting her.
So what I'm saying is, think what you're talking about protection is what does real protection look like in that situation? Real protection, we out of here. I don't know what they on. Let's go.
Right.
That's me protecting my wife or protecting my kids. I don't look. Whatever they own something. We out. Let's go.
But how many women have instigated a situation like that where they continue to like provoke and maybe wouldn't let their man walk away from a situation with them, maybe insisted that he fight back. I mean, like there's obviously those women out there who they're going to clown the dude if he doesn't protect them. Right. Like, and this is where you get men who are like, I am not taking a bullet for all these bitches. Like everybody's not worth being defended. And that sounds horrible to say, but if you are literally putting a man in a very compromising position and you are inviting danger and you don't know what his skills are like, you are a really stupid woman. Like you really are stupid. Something bad's about to happen to both of y'all.
Right.
I know that. So like my kid's dad, I would never put him in a situation to where something bad could happen because I know how he's going to respond.
Right.
I know what's going to happen.
Okay. What if I do got a gun on me and I shoot it? All right. Now that goes back to the other. Now I'm back in jail or I'm in jail.
Right.
All of that. Now
this serves nobody no good.
Big picture. Now I'm in jail with no ability to create income for my wife and my children. How am I protecting them?
Right. Agree.
People, you got to think.
Agree.
And you got to rewire yourself. What does real protection look like?
So it goes back to what dude said. How many men are behind bars locked up over some shit that they tried to defend?
And I'm not a scary dude. I'm not a scary dude.
Right.
But I think, and it's not even me thinking about, I don't want to take this L. No. If I got somebody, my primary objective and my responsibility is to make sure that this woman or this child gets home safely.
Right.
And that can't happen if I'm knocked out on the ground. That can't happen if I'm in a paddy wagon. All of those situations defeat my purpose of making sure that I protect them and get them back home, and I put them and myself in the ability to continue to provide for them the way that I have been doing.
Agreed.
You gotta think better. Just gotta think better.
Agree. I think there's absolutely plenty of times where walking away is completely fucking fine. Absolutely the most safest thing to do, because trying to entertain somebody else's madness is stupid, right? Like this is your issue, not mine. Like, no. But putting men in harm's way just to see if they can fight, or putting men in harm's way just to see how down they are, like that's a dangerous chick to be around.
Yeah, you got to know who you with too.
You do, and I would say 100% of the time I'm definitely trying to keep mine out of bad situations,
right?
Out of situations where like when we were together, there's certain places we wouldn't go because I knew if some shit went down, it's not going to be good, and the only one probably going back to jail is going to be him, and that serves us no purpose.
No purpose.
Some people can't walk away from a fight, so you got to be careful with them too. Some people don't know how to say no. Some people are absolute hotheads, but I think that this expectation that all men should just jump to every possible fire to put it out, that's reckless thinking. I think that's very immature thinking.
And it's I don't know if it's self-esteem or but it's like, why do you still need to prove something? And I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. For me, look, my wife know my track record, and she see me close and personal. So it ain't that part ain't no question of what he can do or what he's willing to do. It's like whatever I'm saying do is because I'm a protector, and my protection supersedes my own ego. See, my ego wanna swell up and say what you want to do, but me being a protector supersedes my own ego. No, that's what being a real man is. Anyway, give y'all some.
And if you've never had a gun pulled on you, and you think that's just like nothing, you really got to go sit your ass down somewhere, because that's a whole nother type of situation.
Yes, I've had gun. What?
Yeah.
I've had at least one gun pulled on me.
Yep.
Yep.
So it goes back to my statement. I would really fucking hate to be a man. I love being a woman. I would hate to be a man. I really would. So thank you, men, for being men. Men that do men shit and men that like to be men. Sure appreciate you, because I wouldn't want to do none of the stuff that y'all got to do.
Yeah, likewise. We appreciate you.
I like being a man too.
No, but not just being a man. I was like, women deal with and go through stuff that a lot of men can't. We just appreciate.
Right.
Women deal with stuff that men couldn't handle, and men deal with stuff that it's hard on both sides. Just appreciate the differences and what they bring to the table.
Agree. Please, if that's all you got, at least do that. Because like Jules said in a comment earlier today, we need each other, and we do. We fucking do. I don't care what anybody says. We damn sure need each other. Men and women are each other's universal balance. We need each other.
All right, you ready to go to bed?
I'm ready to go to bed. I am. That's it for tonight. So we're not gonna meet tomorrow, right? Or we're not gonna meet next week because it's Halloween.
No, okay, yes. No free thinkers next week. Halloween. And we will get our panel together. If you want to be on the panel, you want to talk about what's good sex, what's not good sex, and all that stuff. If you want to be on the panel, then just shoot us a message. Let us know. You know how to get a hold of us when you're hard to find. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Outside of that, then just keep posting, keep commenting, keep having conversations on the group page, and we'll keep it rocking from there.
That's it. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Have a good night.